Bam. Boom. Ping. Welcome to another weekly edition of the Best Way to Smoke News. Sponsored by none other than a glue gar. Stop smoking spit,
No
y'all.
drip lip.
Glue gar. Like this video. This news is being presented to you by Serpo Jr.
Big J.
Yep, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz signed into law a bill to award some cannabis cultivation licenses earlier than expected so operators can be better prepared for next year's industry launch. Just off the title of that, man, I'm giving you a thumbs up because it's like to get, you know what I'm saying, people prepared into what's going on versus just like, bam, the doors is open or it's time to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You scrambling, you know what I'm saying? But now, you know what I'm saying, you can be prepared. So Minnesota will award cannabis cultivation licenses ahead of schedule this year under a proposal signed into law by Governor Tim Walz. Ching, ching. You know what I'm saying? The Star Tribune reports. The proposal seeks to better prepare the state for next year's launch of its adult use cannabis market. Any cannabis grown under the early licenses cannot be processed or sold until the general licensing process is completed sometime next year. Previously, only certain social equity applicants who would have been allowed to launch their cultivation businesses before next year. So they're including some type of social equity program, you know what I'm saying, up inside of this. Who the social equity program or what group the social equity program may be applied to, not sure.
Who knows?
But they got it going down in Minnesota.
We don't know. Moving on. Hey, research shows terpenes can help treat pain caused by chemo medications. That's some good news. A new study released earlier this month on May 2nd, last month on May 2nd, in the research journal Pain suggests that an injection of cannabis terpenes is roughly equal to the number of pain reduction markers from the injection of morphine. And they talking about injecting it though. You know what I'm saying? Terpenes from cannabis sativa induce antihistamines in a mouse model of chronic pain via activation of endorphin receptors. Features researchers hailing from multiple departments of the University of Arizona, as well as with awarded funding from the National Institution of Health. While both CBD and THC have been found to be beneficial to treat chronic pain, researchers explain that the effect of moderate and can come with unwanted psychoactive side effects. Terpenes are a path around the use of psychoactive substances, which offer an alternative path to pain relief without adhesive side effects. Whoa. In February 2023, one study from researchers at the University of New Mexico found that patient relief was best experienced with higher terpene levels. The weed, the terps, we need it. You know what I mean? It helps with so many different things. And like we talked about earlier and I talk about all the time with the research that's going on, man. So, you know, it's some boo-hoos with the rescheduling though, but it's some good things that's gonna come with that. You know what I mean? Via research. You know?
You fist bump, brother. He's giving me that fist bump, you know what I'm saying? Because our news watchers, you know what I'm saying, we be trying something new for y'all. You know what I'm saying? He get his news, bam. I see you at the table, cuzzo. I get mine, see you at the table, cuzzo. But you know what I'm saying? It's just an awakening moment. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like great minds be like on the same page.
Man.
But you know what I'm saying? Right here, right down in the same video, you can compare and contrast. A recent study found that terpenes could be an effective and side effect free treatment for chemotherapy-induced neuropathic pain.
Is that right?
Hit me out though.
Man.
A study published this month in the journal Pain suggests that cannabis terpenes, the compounds that give the plants their aroma and taste, offer an alternative to chemotherapy-induced neuropathic pain relief without any side effects.
Dope.
That's through
That's
cannabis.
dope.
You know what I'm saying? The study found that terpenes were also effective as morphine at reducing chronic neuropathic pain, and a combination of the two analgesics further enhance pain relief without negative side effects.
Oh, everything. Hey, that's that's dope though. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Two different perspectives on
you
the
know what I'm saying? On the
same
same
thing.
thing. You know what I'm saying?
Rock with us.
Man, I'm
You know what
telling you.
saying?
The study led by John Strucher, PhD, a member of the Comprehensive Center for Pain and Addiction, and a professor for pharmacology at the College of Medicine in Tucson. You know what I'm saying? Used a mouse medical of chemo of
in Tucson. Politically correct ass motherfucker.
Tucson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God damn, Tucson. But Tucson, I guess, you know what I'm saying? They need, I don't know where the fuck that silent ass C come from. But in Tucson, used a mouse model, you know what I'm saying, for chemotherapy-induced neuropathic pain, you know what I'm saying, which occurs when highly toxic chemotherapy medicines cause nerve damage that result in pain.
Thanks.
In Tucson, you know what I'm saying, this research was, you know what I'm saying, cracking that. You know what I mean? And that's like, man, it was just an awakening moment, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, get them terpenes.
Yeah, for real though, man. That's good news. Moving on. Hey, look, the real Jelly Roll says marijuana has kept me sober.
The real Jelly, who's the original Jelly Roll?
I don't know who the original is though, but look though, this is some good news right here though, man. I'm glad that Jelly Roll is he pushing the marijuana though. So in an interview with Taste of Country published on May 24th, Grammy Award nominated country artist Jelly Roll. He was a rapper at first though, and he switched over to country though. Jelly Roll DeFord said that he smokes weed to stay away from hard drugs that he's used in the past, namely opioids and benzoids. Given his past and given his past as an addict and his role in speaking against the use of fentanyl, and he's like totally against the fentanyl and shit like that though, sweeping the country, the interview quickly shifted on the topic of drugs. But Jelly Roll doesn't see weed the same way as hard drugs, which can tear families apart and lead to deadly overdoses and stuff. So, like his perspective is like the weed is keeping him away from the other drugs. It's not a gateway drug. It's like a
given that.
No, it's not a gateway drug for him. It's like a ends to a mean kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? All he needs is the weed.
It's like to some like weakened minds, it'd be a gateway. You know what I'm saying? Let me sit like I'm heavy on this. Let me substitute it for this over here. When that's really not the case.
Right. Yeah. It ain't no gateway at all and shit though. Look, researchers used a cross-sectional questionnaire alongside logistical region models to analyze the relationship between cannabis use to manage stimulant cravings as well as self-reported changes in frequency of stimulant use. You know what I mean? That's popping them pills and shit like that though. And like his perspective, he know a lot of people that, have, got the pills from people off the street and, done had fentanyl in them and stuff like that. And people end up, passing away, overdosing, on the drug and stuff like that though. And he's a big advocate. I want to send a shout out from the Best Way to Smoke, man, to Jelly Roll, man, because he really pushing the line and he's very, very loud about it though. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Shout out to you, Jelly Roll.
On the real, moving on.
Bam, we back in Minnesota. Gotta stress this one. Between 30 and 40% of Minnesota adults could qualify as applicants to the state's cannabis social equity program under rules approved by state lawmakers earlier this year. So within this social equity program, you know what I'm saying, as long as you are an adult, I believe 21 and up, trying to get into the cannabis industry, it's a program there set to help you. Do I agree with cannabis social equity programs? That's not to be discussed on the news. But Under Minnesota cannabis industry social equity rules, between 30 and 40% of adults in the state could qualify for social equity applicants. Could qualify as social equity applicants. The Minnesota Reform reports. The rules are approved by state lawmakers earlier this year. The state social equity rules cover individuals who have lived for 5 years in a neighborhood where more than 20% of residents live in poverty, are on food stamps, or where median income is less than 80% of the statewide or metro area. Those who have lived for 5 years in a neighborhood with high levels of social vulnerability, as defined by the Centers of Disease and Control, CDC. Military veterans are members of the National Guard, individuals convicted of cannabis offenses in the past or had a family member or close family member convicted of an offense, small farmers with less than 100,000 in annual sales, and those who have lived for 5 years in a neighborhood that has seen a disproportionate rate of the enforcement for previous cannabis laws, as determined in a forthcoming study by the Office of Cannabis Management. That's where your cannabis social equity program is trying to go to. Y'all went very, very slow on that because look at the people who they are trying to target, you know what I'm saying, and just say you need help. I'm just a messenger. That's your weekly news with Serpo Jr.
Big J.
Baby.